Man, man, oh man, man, oh man. Ha! Let's get it started. Give people time to find out that we up, we kicking, we sending out the black signal right now. Yes, we are. Black signal has been unleashed. Right? So we calling all of the family. Gather round, gather round. Black line is open. Want to make sure that we are streaming on all channels before we get started. All right. It says Gye-Nyame Journey is toasting live. Let's see what happens if I click on it. All right. Took me to the watch. But I don't want that. I want the other one. I want to be able to adjust. So we want to adjust, get everything right. So when the family come in, we can have our conversation. So we can have our toast and talk. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. So I'm going to go back. All right. No, that's the old chat. I don't understand why the old chat would pop back up. Man, all right. You done?
With what?
You washed the bottles?
They're still full. You gotta take them out, right?
I'm talking about those bottles in the white box, sir. The brand new bottles.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, big too. Big too. Let me see one so I could go on and show off. All right. New 32-ounce bottle we're going to try to work with. Supposed to be a lot thicker. But, you know, I got to let the stuff mature before I even go on and put it in here. Because you already know how dangerous that ambrosia could be. So, we're going to fill them up. So 2 of these is a half. And 4 of them is a gallon. Gonna get them washed up. Me and Cleve is gonna fill up maybe about 2 gallons in that. So some people that want the half gallon, we give you the half gallon experience. We give you a quarter gallon, half gallon experience. Half gallon is probably, those bottles are a little bit more expensive. So shit. I gotta sit down and do the math, you know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have Cleve sit down and do the math so that he can go and figure out how this whole process works. We got to go and start including our young people in our little ventures. I won't call it a business, you know, because we still, you know, we still at struggling piece. Ain't got enough money to pay nobody yet, but we're working on getting to where we want to be. Slowly but surely. I got to make sure some of the young people that's in Gye-Nyame can pick up on the skill and start working it. So we up on Facebook. I shared it with all my channels on Facebook. We are up on, okay, so I can post early or have continuous conversations on some of the timelines on, it looks like, Facebook as well as YouTube. Let me see. Because this means we can have continuous conversations about certain things on the timeline. So I'm going to start trying to use that to our advantage. Let's see. I want to check. Because I posted, and I wonder if it went. No, it didn't. Okay, so it didn't post up on that. Wonder which timeline of mine did it post up on? Didn't post up on my regular. Oh, so this say, oh, this is how Tim Gye-Nyame Journey. Where is? All right. So while I try to figure this out, I want to welcome everybody here on this great Kuumba day. I want to thank everybody for joining us, taking the time out of your busy day to join us, those that are joining us. And those that's catching us later, I want to thank you for your participation and your support as well. It is a beautiful Kuumba here at Gye-Nyame Journey, a lazy Kuumba. I got up to get my girls together so they go get their hair done. And now I'm up doing my show because I came home, I was feeling kind of lazy. I had the opportunity to go to my store for my supplies, and now I got to go out and get some honey, get some tea, and then start working. I need to place some orders on Gye-Nyame Journey because I need another hat. My girls want some socks. I don't know if Cleve wants something, but I need a hat, and I need some more of these. Daily Toaster and Gye-Nyame Journey gear. So like I said, I can't be asking y'all to support and I don't support. You understand what I'm saying? So I paid my Gye-Nyame dues yesterday, so I'm feeling good about myself out here trying to build, because like I said, like those from the book that we are entering in our discussion here at Gye-Nyame Journey, we finished where you at? We finished Tribal Quotes, which is actually a training book within Gye-Nyame Journey. I haven't been using it to its fullest, but this is a personal diary where you get to look at some of the wise words that were said by wise people throughout the world, and you get to reflect, and you have a journal where you go back. And I'm gonna get a few of the Gye-Nyame journals because I gave them away as birthday gifts, and I have a few more birthday gifts that I want to make sure that I'm able to provide people. Because like I said, if I'm giving gifts, why not support Gye-Nyame by doing those? Also, what's going to be happening today as well is I'm gonna be between this weekend, I am going to work on finishing up. I got to work and finish this ebook that I'm working on, and select some videos that I'm going to make available to the family members out there that's going to support us with the Malcolm X Festival, because I don't necessarily like the whole donation model where you give something, you know what I'm saying, and it's just like on good faith. I like being able to give you something back, so I'm trying to create a little something I could give. We did the same thing last year, so we could start this whole drive towards getting people to support the Malcolm X Festival. Some people just do it, but I like being able to know that I exchange value with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the family to ever feel that I'm taking what you do for granted, because I understand where we are as a group. You know what I'm saying? And I know that every dime, you know what I'm saying, counts. So that when you are able to donate, and you do donate, or you do support Gye-Nyame Journey, I want to make sure you're getting something back for that. Tawi, Gye-Nyame Journey, we family. But I speak in terms of Gye-Nyame a lot of times on here. I want to make sure that you're getting something back. One of the major pieces that came from this book, because I was just talking about the tribal quotes, even though I haven't been doing the shows, and I'm working on that too. I'm trying to come up with some concepts and different ways where I could do it. Do I need to pre-record it? Do I need to get up a little bit earlier and possibly pre-record a tribal quote and folk tales for grown folks, and post it up since the energy is not up? And then if I'm able to join the chat, you know what I'm saying, join a discussion or something like that, give some other pieces so that we can sharpen our weapons, and those that are on Gye-Nyame, you know what I mean when I talk about weapon, you know what I'm saying, because the most potent weapon has always been the mind. I'm pointing at the brain, but the mind. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to keep it sharp. So we went through this book. So now, once again, we're going to be dancing with the African openings to the Tree of Life. right? And one of the major components, one of the major ideas out this book states that those who are not willing to sacrifice shall not be fulfilled. So we're definitely going to jump into this one full throttle and look for the wisdom in this book, because this book is it was totally pulled from African wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called the African Tree of Life. It was compiled by a brother by the name of Erskine Peters, right? And he labeled himself a scribe. And this is a book that is a life-changing book. I will post up a link so that those people that are interested in getting the book and following along with the book can get. Also, put together a package of some sort, because just like you would do with this one, because if you look at any one of the pages, like on day 59.
This call is being recorded.
If you look on day 59, right, you see that it has space in here so that you can write. You'd be like, brother, I tell you why you ain't writing. Because I did one already. This is the one for the show. As you can see, we done been through this. Those that's been kicking it with Gye-Nyame Journey, we done been through this a few hundred. I mean, I ain't gonna say a few hundred times, but at least on the show, we've been through this at least 2, possibly 3 times. I think this is about the second time that we're gonna go through the African openings to the Tree of Life, and we're gonna dance with this book, right? We're gonna learn and we're gonna grow. Those of you that are new to the journey, I'm trying to tell you, this book right here is going to change your life. All right. So somebody just called in. Even though I'll be requesting, go on and wait until after we do the toast. I ain't even did the damn song yet. Who on the line? You welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey. Welcome to the house, the home.
This is Brother Jehudi.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm living the dream, trying to make my black the best black.
Hey, that's all we could do, man. That's all we could do. You know what I'm saying? Striving every day to move a little bit closer to becoming who and what we need to be, so that we can carve out the space for these future generations. Because for those of us, this is not our life. You know what I'm saying? We have inherited a great legacy, and we got to make sure that we are able to pass that legacy on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got something for the people?
Hey, I feel.
Go ahead.
Let me say this to you real quick. I don't know how long I'll be here, so if I check out, it's because I'm moving. I'm moving pretty fast. I'm doing 2 or 3 things. I just wanted to get in and spend as much time as I can.
Okay. Go ahead. You got something else you want to drop on the people before? Because I ain't even officially start the show yet.
Well, I heard you mention the book. What's the book? And then after that, I'm just going to be quiet.
All right. The title of the book that we're going to move into is called African Openings to the Tree of Life, by Erskine Peters. You know, those that's been around Brother Hatim know that I eat this book up. Me and Terry House used to buy these by the dozens and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I hold on to a copy for myself, but I'm gonna make it possible for people to get it. We just came out of Gye-Nyame Journey workbook, Tribal Quotes. We finished this one in this series, so we're gonna start the cycle over again. Of course, starting with the African openings to the Tree of Life, and we're gonna kick it. But family, before we do any of that, y'all know we got to do the toast song. We got to get up and do the toast song, because that's tradition. We building a tradition here. We're not playing. It's real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. So family, if you would, grab your glass. You know what I'm saying? Grab your water. Get your health drink. Shouts out to Brother Kwame. I see you out there. Let's see if anybody is joining us. All right. Grab what you need, because we're about to get it popping up in here. Then we're going to have some discussion, because I got some news for that we could go through. Hell, I need to read the beginning of this so that we could go so people can have the proper introduction to the book, and we can start working through it. You know what I'm saying? On Coogee Chagalia nights. If I could work it out, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. Because like I said, as I get older, in the evenings, I'm shutting down. My body is shutting down. And I'm not mad at that, because that's part of the process. That's part of the aging process. And I'm not ashamed of my age, right? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways, I have to kind of kick back and lay back and let things happen. But without any further ado, family, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority. Am I looking stubborn like that? My arm folded? That stubborn? How about that? The place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Come on, Anime, get it together, girl. Let you sleep in. This is a Heart of a Simba production. And of course, this is the Daily Toast. Simba on point. Simba, give it up. Speaking of Simba, the young brothers and sisters have left the city. They left last night, late last night, or maybe even early this morning. They are on their way to the Simba reunion, so we want to make sure that in our toast we are sending them energy because they're representing the city. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going down there, and and they're in good hands because Brother Shamar, Brother Royalty is down there with them. We want to, send them some shots out. Give them a round of applause. Last but not least, family, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Ha 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 ha! Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath, man. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, and drink. Take a deep breath with me, come on. Now, grab your glass for some water. Get your picture of your water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Stretch. Move your body, drink some water. Stretch. Move your body, drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then. Now take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Hey. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Drink, breathe, eat. Oh my God. Mess it up. Hey. In other words, breathe, drink, eat, Move. Those are the 4 pillars of health, family. Stay healthy. Now, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Hey. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Can you beat me? Come on, let's see. Drink your water. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Hey, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Family, drink your water. Man, listen. Shouts out to Mr. Navita. I see you out there. Brother Kwame said, I forgot where they off to. They are, I think they're going to Chicago. I didn't follow because sometimes I tell them they need to have those discussions kind of away from me. You know what I'm saying? So because sometimes y'all know how I be. I subject jump. You know what I'm saying? I jump subjects and shit, and I slow down some meetings. So those meetings where I'm not really needed, those discussions where I'm not really needed, tell them, we've been training some young people for a long time. They're no longer young people. They're still young, but they're no longer young people anymore. So when you give people and you turn stuff over to people, you should have faith in the fact that they could do the things that you have trained them to do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, we got orders, certain things that Brother Hatim no longer has to worry about because young people have stepped up and they have taken over. And we got to start training our young people in that way. I think that's very important. I think it's very important that we start training those young people to really start stepping into our spaces. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, when I leave here, I want to make sure that somebody's going to be able to step up and continue to toast. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that Gye-Nyame Journey Media is continue going because it's bigger than Brother Hatim. You know what I'm saying? It's about us getting information out to the community, even some information that might be uncomfortable. And there's probably somebody out there in our circle right now that's able to do this better than I'm able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the toast or whether it's the news, I'm just like I said, right now, we are in the process of finding those individuals to fit into the spaces so that we can start producing more content. You know what I'm saying? And don't be surprised when y'all see a Gye-Nyame Journey Media show. And I ain't talking about just somebody talking around. I'm talking about like a soap opera or some shit, because that's a dream of mine. I want a conscious soap opera with individuals dealing with the shit that we actually talk about. You know what I'm saying? If we have to create the fantasy world, because like I said, you know what I'm saying? One good way to make sure that the future becomes real is by enacting what you want in the future. Unfortunately, many of the shows and movies that we are involved with are not geared towards our success. You understand? So like, one of the reasons I'm not against people making movies about slavery, but a lot of those movies where we come in as the heroes, we unfortunately know the end. Like I wasn't hyped up about going seeing the Nat Turner movie. What is it called? I can't remember the name of the movie, but I knew the end. I know, even though I don't agree with the whole Harriet movie and stuff, I know the end. You know what I'm saying? We still end up in the situation I'm in right now. So what we need to start creating is we need to start creating stories with the ends that reflect what we want. That's why one of the reasons I love the movie The Spook Who Sat by the Door, because it was an open-ended ending. Where your imagination could take you with it is where that movie ended for you. A 7-stick skit for each brother for each brother and sister. Ooh. You know? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, I posted up a couple of weeks ago a video. It was but it was, wasn't necessarily a video. But anyway, I posted up one of a book that I wrote called 7 Sticks. I posted up the first chapter. You go and check it out. I created that for our children. I mean, because there are a lot of black books out there. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to create one that focused on the principles that I felt we needed at the school. You know what I'm saying? One that reflects what we are trying to instill in ourselves and our young people. So I created it, just like with the soap opera. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in our collective, or maybe myself, is going to create, or a group of us is going to create the story of the future that we want. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's wrong with writing the story about how we get reparations and what we do with the reparations after we got them? You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that we do, to maintain until we are able to take our reparations. All right, but anyway, I digress. Let me go on and let me do this toast, then I'm going to open up the line so that we can have some discussion. I'm going to go down the Gye-Nyame timeline. So if y'all have anything that you want to discuss and you don't necessarily want to call in, you understand what I'm saying? Post up on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline, or even inbox us at Gye-Nyame Journey Media on Facebook, and we'll be able to pull the story up and we can have the discussion. We got some people that ain't shy, so they're going to come and they're going to bring the heat on Brother Hot Tim. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Most cases, and most times, sometimes Sister Navita can be kind of aggressive, but I love her anyway, She be wanting me to come with a straight answer when I don't answer. I'm shit. I learned. I know politics. If your president ain't got to answer you straight, I don't either, right? I'm just telling y'all right now, right? Because Sister Navita be bringing up that shit. I'll be like, oh, don't want to step on that one directly, right? But anyway, let's see. All right, we're going to go on. We're going to have us some coffee ambrosia this morning. Coffee ambrosia. The drink of champions. Family, what's in your cup? So those that are new to Gye-Nyame, to the Daily Toast, this is our weekend show. We got a little bit of time to kick it back. This is our Toast and Talk. So we're going to toast as we're going to talk after we get done toasting as well. The basic rules, like for example, the song tells you everything that we need to do to get things started. We're gonna drink our water. We start off the day or start off the show by drinking water because I'm trying to promote some health, right? Water is an essential, and we talk about the breathing, and also with the toast we also drink some. That's right. We drink a health drink. Now I just happen to make my own health drink, so I ain't got to go out and buy stuff from people. And those that are willing to learn, Gye-Nyame Journey will put on a class, because Sister Navita been on me. She be like, stop giving up all the stuff for free. You don't tell them how to make it. We will be putting together a course to help people learn how to put together, if you want to learn how to do your own kombucha or Jun or June. Because like I said, I don't use the sugar, but the process is the same. If you wanted to experiment with the sugar and the black tea, you could do it with white tea. I like green tea. I like a strong mixture of green teas, and I'll show you how to make it. I won't necessarily share the teas that I use, but I will be able to take a standard brand of green tea, the honey, show you how I put it together, and I can show you several different processes of putting it together. I don't like boiling because I do large quantities. Now, when I first started, I did the boiling, but I like kind of like the sun type tea, even because you don't even need the sun to have that process take place. I like the tea to sit in the water and allow the water to allow the tea to diffuse through the water slowly. Then I could take the tea bags out, strain the tea, and then get into the process of making the ambrosia. All right, so that's neither here nor there. Let's get our toast on. I'm going to try to go as far as I can by memory. Yesterday, I made it all the way up to Brother Kwame's ancestors and choked. So today, we are going to try to make it beyond the point where I stopped yesterday. So those of you that are new to the circle and you might have some ancestors that you want to post up, I've been getting a lot of calls. So maybe it's something going on. Did the revolution start? I've been getting a lot of calls and shit on both my numbers. We're going to start. Of course, you know, we first lift up our glass to the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up that glass and we salute that creator and we say the powerful word of Ashe. From there, family, we move to our list of our ancestors. I'm going to try to go off the top of my head, not the top of, it ain't freestyling or nothing like that, but I want to see how far we get down the list. So we're going to start. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Christopher Gasson, Eileen, Uncle Chris, Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Pet Ma Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston. God, messed up my rhythm. Let me go back. Montague Pittman, Normal X, Pet Ma Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Gail Pullian, the Luxter brothers, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janet Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Chris Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Calvin Spratling. I just need a little bit. Where was I at? Calvin Spratling. By English, wrong side. Calvin Spratling. Bear with me, family. Michael Ford Jr., Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sel Ware, Levita Farmer, Agoso Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, where am I at? George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth. I'm choking on where we at? Mary Joanne Thornton, Erica Trish Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Darrell Giles Watson, Sparrow Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes. That's where it stops for me. All right, so let's get it. Linda Watson, Hammonds, Jarrell Giles, Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selva Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mitchell Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Moorman, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Derrida Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Harry Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinera, the Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas Alula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Demon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. We got William Walter West, Nigel Parrish, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Lise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Anna Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanterberry, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Pinto Jr., William Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Either Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Naylon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, trying to go off memory again, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Boots, Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Dan Scott, Edgar Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet McKay, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno, Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.A. Brownlee Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker, Senior, Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Jabez McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, George Swan, Emania Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlie Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We got some on Parrot. Report this guy, he hacked my account. What is this dude talking about? Report this guy, he hacked my account. Periscope Cherry Q, report this guy, he hacked my account. Okay, whatever. Alright, so maybe I'll take back the welcome to the Periscope, dude. I don't know what's going on with that. We have Jordan Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McKell, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Shadi Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khaled is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flynn, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gantz, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Munger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, also known as Mr. Thornton. We got Johanna, we got Cassandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, L.L.T. Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles. We got Sonny Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Tricilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson, Carl White, Desi Woods, Tilar Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander, Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samanda Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Merle, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Merle, Sylvester Foster, James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Kofer, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Toot the Don, Xavier Winston, and Chris Kinney. Man, we raise up our glass to all of our ancestors. Are there any other ancestors out there that anybody want me to mention? We could do that right here, right now. We could add them to the list. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody that you want on there temporarily, we could do that as well. No? Okay.
Hatim.
Yes, sir.
Brother Hatim.
Go ahead.
This is Brother Jehudi. My mother transitioned December 20th of last year. I'd like to add her to the list.
Okay, cool. Let me find my pen.
Her name is Margaret Minter.
Margaret Minter. We lift up the glass to Margaret Minter. Brother Jehudi.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Margaret Minter.
Hadn't even thought about it, man. So I was sitting here listening to the toast. Thought about I need to put my baby on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Thank
doing.
you.
And that's no problem. And she will be lifted up on a daily basis. Family, we do this every day, or we attempt to do this every day. So we salute those ancestors, and we raise up the glass with a mighty shout of Ashe. From there, family, we move from our ancestors, which in a sense is a representation of the past, and we move into the present moment where our ancestors have placed us right now. Right now, in this moment, we are in the moment of Kuumba. This is the moment of Kuumba, family. I am challenging you to get out. And when you out in the world, look around and see where you can find a Kuumba. And look more than just at the rap. Look more just at the sports. Look more than just at entertainment. Because we are creative people. And our principle is active within us. All we have to do is pay some attention and focus. And look for the principle. Somebody said Kente Ahmad, Mary Smith, Juanita Florine. Hold on. Is this my little brother Kente? Are you adding these people to the list, brother Kente? Player, what you doing? I didn't even know you had I didn't know that you paid attention on Facebook. Brother? Alright, let me see, brother Kente. Wow. I'm doing something now. Got the players on the line. Carl Williams Duncan Jr. Jana Callahan. All right, hold on. Slow down. Let me write them. We got Mary Smith. Now, Mary is spelled, did you put an extra R in there, or is that the way it's spelled? You got Marry. So I want to make sure I post the ancestors white. So those that are new, please give me some time, because I want to make sure we get all of our ancestors. And it looked like brother Kente got a pretty long list here. Hold on. Juanetta. We got Juanetta. Florine. Stith. Gibbs. Okay. We got Carl William Duncan. Jr. We got Jana Callahan. Callahan, all right, I got it right. I don't till I see you. 1R. Okay, cool. All right, so we got, for Brother Kente, we got Mary Smith, Juanita Florine Stith Gibbs. We got Carl William Duncan Jr. We got Jana Callahan. For some reason, I'm thinking Jana Callahan might be on the list, but I'm going to put it down just in case. And we got Danny Hill. And we got Miko D Nice. Hill. All right. So we got some more family members. Our tribe grows more powerful as we get together and we start, saluting these ancestors, family. This is energy that we allow flowing through this moment. So right now we are in the moment in this toast, right? So once again, we need to get out. We need to find our principles on a daily basis. For those that are new, we conquered the week. You know what I'm saying? We took the week over. So now today is no longer known as what you used to call it. Today is Kuumba. All right. So I'm challenging you to find the principle Kuumba all around you. Also, on this day, for those that don't speak the language, Kuumba means creativity. It's out there. We just got to take some time to find it. He also got Andre Martin? Andre Martin is also on the list. Who raised a glass? All right. So keep them coming, Kente. I keep on adding them. But we're going to finish the moment toast. So we are in the day of creativity. The Modic principle that we are studying, that we are saluting, that we are searching for today is order. The color is orange, as you can see by the beautiful Daily Toaster orange shirt. And if you want to get your own Daily Toaster shirt because you're a Daily Toaster and you're proud of it, go to GNJmedia.live. And our merch store is right on the site. You go and get all the stuff, because I'm about to put in some orders right now, because I got a couple of birthday gifts that I got to get for some people, as well as replace a hat that Miss Sasha lost. It was such a warm hat. The Hermetic law that we're looking at today is cause and effect. Male name for the day is Kwame. Female name is Ama. I want to give a round of applause to all the Kuumba babies out there. We raise our glass to all of the to this moment, to the power in this moment, realizing that our ancestors have gifted us this moment, and we want to work with it with power and through creativity to get the max out this moment so that we can lay the foundations for our future generations. Let's not waste the time. Let's get to building so that we can make sure that we secure our children's place and time. And we also also are able to pass on to them the resources that they need to move their lives to the next level. We raise our glass celebrating this moment. We say Ashe. From there, we move to our future generations. We want to lift up our glass. We want to salute our children, our children's children, on to infinity. I know sometimes working with our babies can be difficult. I know it can be frustrating. But family, with the level and amount of trauma that our people have been through, you know what I'm saying? We need to go and persevere and push through and work with those that can be worked with. All right, so we raise our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, we need to move on and we toast all of our relations. And we say Ashe. From all of our relations, family last. No, this ain't last. This is that selfish toast. This is for you. What is it that you need in this moment to move towards the greater you? Right? That you that's going to maximize the moment and carve out the space and fight for the space and fight to maintain the space that all other groups are fighting to get. You know what I'm saying? This space is rare than real estate, family. This is cosmic real estate that we're standing on. It's bigger than just the land. People want to take your time and space and your resources. And we see it happening every day in our community. So we need to go on and make sure that we're focused. So we need to be the best us so that we can always be cognizant of that and start working towards securing what it is that's ours. So we raise our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, last but not least, I want to salute the most magnificent, the most marvelous, the most uplifting, the most outstanding, the most beautiful individual in the world. I raise my glass up to you. And I salute you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, 100 years. And as we say in Gye-Nyame, cat in. Oh man. Let me go and sip some of this. And the lines are open. We have already been joined by Brother Jehudi. If you want to call in, the number is 614-556-4535. Let me check. Somebody sent us a direct message. Let me check and see what's going on with the direct message. If I can see it. I can't see it in there. Let me go on and just open up another window. Because this might be one of the things that I asked y'all to send in. Because we're about to hit the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. For those that's new to Gye-Nyame, the number to the black line. The number to the black line is 614-556-4535. Once again, the number is 614-556-4535. I'm gonna type it in. I was just trying to wait because I got a direct message. I want to see if it got anything to do with the show or somebody just sending me some crazy shit. Let's see. Oh, this is one of my crazy brothers. Huh. Something happened with the camera. Are we still up? What's going on? Oh, shit. It dropped me. All right. So we're going to have to get on. We're going to have to get back up. I don't know what's going on, family. I don't know what's going on. They just dropped me. It's sabotaging. Shit. It's sabotaging. They dropped me. All right, so I had to get right back up. I got dropped for a second. I don't know what happened. Some type of error popped up, and they just dropped me. Be right back. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. All right, that's dope. All right, YouTube. I like how y'all handle that. I usually got some bad words for YouTube, but they handled that one pretty good. Let's see what brother sent us. I got a message from brother Kwesi Hashibu. So, his day is tomorrow. Well, it won't let me pop it up, so I don't know what's going on. So we just gonna go to our timeline until I'm able to see some type of result. All right, so if you join us on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline, this is open to the community. This is where we get the news in the moment, family. So, feel free to post up. But let me go on and post up the number for those that are new. I'm going to post up this number, the call-in number to the Black Line. Put Black Line, BLACKNUSS, Black Line, BLACKNUSS, 614-556-4535. We have done the toast. Now it's time for the talk. 614-556-4535. The line is open. And don't worry about it. I got enough room for you on it because Gye-Nyame Journey ain't playing. Right? We've been paying for this line for years. So let's use it up. Call in. Don't delay. Get on board. Right now, today. It's our time. All right, we're going to go down the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. I forgot this touch screen. All right, one of the first things up. Senator proposes offering vouchers to every student in Columbus, Cincinnati, and Toledo. Right? So, there's been some word that there's some dismantling going on within the education system. So what's going on now? We have a senator. I don't know whether it's a Democratic senator or a Republican senator. He is proposing that vouchers to private schools be offered to the community. Now, what this does is that, first off, once again, this is more money going out of the public school system and is making it available to private schools. Not really realizing that once you start flooding the private schools, they become public schools. Once they start taking public money, they are no longer private schools. They become public schools. So some of the things and some of the learnings that's going to be going on that you thought would be going on in some of these private schools is going to shift to public school stuff going on. So I can't read that article because Columbus Dispatch is getting smart digitally, and they say, hey, you got to buy. I'm not buying. I already read the article. But I'm just trying to let y'all know as they start to dismantle and eventually get to the point where, they may be able to sit our children at the crib with computers and say, learn the best that you can, and come and get those that are, in a sense, the best students or what they would consider the best students. So we got to really watch that, you know what I'm saying? Because they say this is what's happening with charter schools. But for all intents and purposes, charter schools are not that different from public schools. Because all these schools that are receiving some type of federal funding, money from the state, money from the county, are responsible for the exact same test. So if everybody is responsible for the exact same test, how is it possible to diversify the education? Because everybody got to pass the same damn test. So if everybody got to pass the same damn test, many of the methods that's going to be used to pass the same damn test are going to be the same damn methods. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why. I mean, we be falling for the banana in the tailpipe all the goddamn time, right? We know that the education system need to be overhauled. Now, we can talk about nationwide, but I'm just talking about ADOS specific. Black folks that are descendants of the institution of slavery, we know that the education system has to be revamped because the education system does not instill the ideals in our children that are needed for them to succeed in the future. Some of the shit that our children are getting in these public schools, in these charter schools, in these private schools is geared towards advancing the universal ideal of America. And please understand, the universal ideal of America is white supremacy, and it trains our children to go in and support white supremacy. We got to understand that. So we need to be able to design a system of education that will get our children focused on building us up, which will make America stronger. Not white supremacy, but make America stronger by servicing those true Americans. No one in America can claim the American title more than us. And we need a specific education that will get our young people focused on doing the things within our community, doing the things socially, doing the things economically that will lift us up. So part of the reparation package that I'm talking about is overhauling the education system when it comes to us. We need to design our own damn test. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people are like, that's going to lower the quality of the education because the white people ain't say that you're qualified. No, we need to get our kids, as we did when we, in many senses, started this whole public school system. We need to gear our children to an understanding who they are, where they are, why they are, and how they got here. So that they can reverse engineer in their minds, and while they're learning, reverse engineer all of the damage that has been done to us as a group. You know what I'm saying? It is important that children be educated for the group rather than the individual. This whole education system is geared towards this myth of the rugged individual. Family, that is the biggest bag of bullshit that I have ever seen. There is no rugged individual in America. Every effort, everything that has been created has been the result of a group process. Do not allow them to fool you into the rugged individual, because the rugged individual cannot win against an institution, cannot win against a culture, because it's going to outlive them. When you get tired, they got somebody else that's working while you sleep, because it's a group. And we got to start understanding that, because they're coming at us and they want to pick us off. Please understand what happens to a group of individuals when they're able to start separating individuals from the group. They start picking you off. And this is what's been happening to us for a very long time, and we got to stop it. We got to stop it. Some of y'all gonna have to get up and go volunteer in some of these schools so that you can see what's going on, so that you can kind of curb some of this. So you can, when some of the brothers and sisters is going off, you can go and talk with them about how do you appropriately deal with this situation? And then have talks with them, real talks with them about what they are going to be facing and some of the stuff that is needed for them to be able to overcome. So like I said, for me, part of reparations is definitely going to be us being able to pull some of these funds and have our school or our institutions geared towards them teaching our children how to build us up. Because that need to be the focus. Because like I keep telling y'all, they say a rising tide lifts all boats. We are the tide in America, family. We are the tide. When we rise, everybody else in this motherfucker gonna rise too, but I want to make sure we're rising. I don't know, everybody else's boat, they need to go on and get it ready. I need to make sure that we as a tide are rising. And you know what I'm saying? And by you, because when you learn to take care of you, it makes it easier for you to be able to take care of others. We are so self-giving, and even when we get to this whole election piece, family, I want you to think about one presidential election where they have not used fear to try to motivate you to go vote. And how many times are you told that you need to overlook your interests and help us get this person out of office or help us get this person in office? It's time for that type of politics to stop with us. We don't need to do that no more. We need to make sure our kids understand, right? We need to really look at what's going on. right? Because like I said, now let's go to the politics. Right now, they saying that we have to defeat Donald Trump. Don't care who we put in office. We just have to defeat Donald Trump, right? We don't need to talk about reparations. That'll make it impossible to win. Okay. So, if you're not addressing us, if we don't have no interest, they like, well, what about all the federal judges that he's going to be able to appoint? Federal judges can be impeached as well. I'm just saying. Oh, it's a long and hard process. Yes, it is. But if it's something that needs to be done, we have faced hard and long processes. Shit, we in the hard, long process right now. Was a couple of hundred judges to go and get up off the bench. Come on now. All right. Oh my God. Let me turn on the fuckery alarm for this next one here. Get ready. Fuckery alert. Fuckery alert. Be aware. Fuckery is afoot. All right, family. So, those of you that's been following anthropology and archaeology, you know that West Asians, West Asians, Central Asians, Eastern Asians, you know what I'm saying, in their gene pool, they have been able to identify Neanderthal and other hominids that their ancestors mated with. Right? So, before they killed all of the Neanderthals, they had sex with them. You know what I'm saying? And those genes passed into their group. And they haven't been able to find these genes in African groups, in people that stayed in Africa. Because we know everybody migrated out of Africa and then something happened and they weren't able to migrate back. But along the way, they lightened up and they started partying with those Neanderthals. Doing all types of dastardly shit with the Neanderthals to such an extent that you can find Neanderthal DNA. Now, how did they figure out that there was Neanderthal DNA in these groups? No, they didn't go out and start looking for it. No, they found samples where they are able to extract DNA of the Neanderthals and the other ones. They able to look at that, and they looked at their genetic code, and they matched it up to the genetic code of human beings, and they were able to identify, and this happened accidentally. You understand what I'm saying? Well, there's a lot of similarities here. So this means I got Neanderthal in my ancestry. So now what do? Let's go on and read a little bit. This is from Cosmo magazine. West Africans share genes with ancient mystery man. All right. So what they saying is, we weren't the only one. We weren't the only one fucking Neanderthal. So they looking in our genes. See, because when they found this, they wasn't looking for Neanderthal genetics in the genes. It was like a random event. They found out when they sequenced a Neanderthal's DNA and they sequenced different groups' DNA, they noticed similarities within the DNA. And they were able to look and identify that Central Asians, West Asians, and East Asians got Neanderthal DNA. They looked at Africans, West Africans, North Africans, South Africans, Central Africans. Guess what? They ain't find none. Right? But now let's look and see what they're trying to do now, because this is the trick. West African shares genes with ancient mystery man. How we know this? If the man is mysterious, he's not there. We're making assumptions. We're looking, because it's in our DNA, we're looking for it in yours. When you didn't find Neanderthal within your genetic code by looking for it, you stumbled upon it. Now you're looking into our genome and you want to prove that you weren't the only one being freaky with Neanderthals. With off humans. They went. You got caught. Now you want to make it look like, hey, we all, no, dog. See, and what was crazy about this is that they're using East Asians and West Asians to combine and trying to do this shit. Human prehistory. I'm reading. This is by Gye-Nyame Lewis. Human prehistory is littered with tales of ancient trysts between the ancestors of modern day people and populations of Neanderthals and Denisovans, or archaic cousins. Evidence for prehistoric intermingling comes largely from genome sequence from millennia-old Neanderthals and Denisovan bones from across Eurasia. When I just call Asia. Because I challenge anybody to prove that Europe is not part of Asia. I challenge you. Please. Prove me wrong. It's Asia. I'll be nice and call it West Asia. I'm not going to call it Europe. I'm calling it West Asia. See, that's part of the game. I get you to start saying things that are not true. So then once I get you to lock in and you start seeing what I want you to see, then I could start telling you anything. This is why in Gye-Nyame we decided to change the days of the week. We're not fucking around. Because I understand this illusion process that they got going on. Europe, where? Where is the continent of Europe? Do you know they teach your children that Europe is a continent? Nobody has a problem with that. How is Europe a continent? Can somebody help me? All right, let's get back to the freakiness between the Neanderthals and the Denisovan. You know what I'm saying? These were basically like cavemen and ape men and shit like this. They got freaky with them. Computational geneticist Arun Durvasula, you understand, right? East Asian. And Sriram Sankaraman from the University of California in Los Angeles wonder, however, whether similar cross-species mixings did occur there. The problem we're trying to find out is that despite the rich fossil human record in Africa, once home to Homo sapiens, Homo naledi, Homo erectus, and others, the continent has so far yielded no genomes from archaic humans. To get around this, the pair came up with a computational method that relies solely on modern day genomes, and they published genomes of Neanderthals and Denisovans. Using publicly available data from West Africans gathered as part of a 1,000 genome project, they measure how frequently a particular genetic sequence occurred in the modern population. Hold on. Now watch. Watch the show. Watch the switch. They repeated this at thousands of locations scattered throughout the genome and then plotted out how often sequences occurred at low, intermediate, and high frequencies. So they're looking for it. They never really looked for it in them, but with us, with black folks out of Africa, they're looking for it. Without any genetic inflow from outside, there should be an even mix of frequencies across the spectrum. Some genes are present if the spectrum. Some genes are present in only a handful of people. Others are shared by nearly everyone. But the plot that emerged was smile-shaped curve with high and low frequencies ends turned upwards. This was a surprise, said Sankaraman. After ruling out errors and biases, biases, that might have crept into their analysis, they determined that the pattern they were seeing was a result of genes flowing in from an archaic relative. Where's the proof? Now, we do know that when you look at the DNA, and I'm in no means an expert at this, in the DNA, they have what they call junk DNA. parts of the genetic code that are not active. How do we know they're not trying to assign freaky business to our DNA because they got freaky business going on with them? It's okay if it's okay if your ancient ancestors made love with Neanderthals. I'm not judging you. Nobody at Gye-Nyame is judging you. Anybody out there judging them? Why you want to kind of try to come onto the continent and try to prove some shit and then call it ghost DNA? You don't have no evidence, so you call it and label it ghost DNA. Is that fuckery? Is that? Just like they deducing some ghost species out there, I'm deducting fuckery here. Right? Don't be ashamed. Because Neanderthals were stronger. In some cases, they were smarter. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not judging you. So just leave our genome alone. Stop making shit up. Right? Hell, why not just say, hey, we found God? See, because I could rewrite this article because they don't have no facts. I'd be like, there are godly genes in Africans' DNA. Since we can't find the source of it, we can only assume that the genes that we are looking at with the slight smiles are divine DNA. I got just as much evidence to say that shit as you got to say that there's some ghost being that was fucking us or we was fucking it. Give me a break. This is not even science. It's easy to disprove. Come on now. I'm going to stop. I don't even want to read that. I got to pee. I can't even. My bladder is full from that bullshit meal that I just had. That's some. Come on now, family. This is the shit that they slide. They just slide little shit in and we don't pay no attention. Come on. Fuckery science. On some bullshit. Be on some bullshit. Alright. Next on the timeline. Brother Judy, you have a comment? You have something you want to say? Oh, he just listening in. Alright, once again, call in line 614-556-4535. You see the gnats trying to get the ambrosia. You need to get yourself some ambrosia too. Amazon axes delivery partners in U.S. Hundreds of jobs cut. Now, I'm bringing that up because Amazon is like this big monopoly, this big octopus that sucks shit up, just like Google, right? And what they do is, like, for example, I want y'all to understand that, they're axing some of their partners and causing job losses because they're complaining and saying, well, if they don't meet the quality, if they don't meet the quality, right, of what we say and their work conditions, because we all done heard about Amazon's work conditions. These motherfuckers is judging other. See, that's hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? They won't even give people bathroom breaks. But yet they're looking at these companies and saying you don't meet the standard. No, what they did was they went and they started getting people that say they want to be entrepreneurs. They got them to lease trucks, and now they're doing more business with these individuals, and they're able to pay them less. See, this is American monopoly. Race to the bottom. I want to get to a point where I could pay you the least for the most. And this has been happening to us, and I'm guaranteed that probably a lot of these jobs that are going to be lost because Amazon is making this major shift is going to hit our community. And some of y'all going to really be hurt when y'all find out what's going on with Uber and Lyft and what Tesla got planned for that shit. All right, but hold on. Let's keep it moving. Letter. This is sent for Grand Forks Herald.com. I wanted to share this one. Letter reparations have already been paid. Hold on. I have to go and leave y'all with a little bit of music for a second here. Go ahead, listen to our YouTube intro. Take a little break.
I am a Gye-Nyame man. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my put in the center. I pledge to find and connect with my center. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to lift my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life to go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warrior to assist all those seeking a path of success. I pledge all these things first to myself, to teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe. That is the Gye-Nyame pledge that is said by all of our true members at least once a day. Peace and welcome to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos and podcasts. Subscribe as well as join the journey. Push past your self-imposed limitations within Gye-Nyame journey. Peace.
Too black, too strong. That's right. All right, family. Letter. This was, and this is from Grand Forks Herald, grandforksherald.com. Letter. Reparations have already been paid. This is because the discussion is going down, family. So come on, because we need to look at this letter. Because this is how people gonna come at you. Those that look like you and those that don't look like you. They're gonna come at you with some of the stuff. So we need to go on and start getting our conversations ready for when people start spouting bullshit. You need to have an internal so that you know what it sounds like and you know what your responses possibly could be and when to even just get up and walk out on the conversation. Because you are basing all of your stuff on what you believe. We that are sitting up here arguing about reparations are talking about what is. How can you say that, Brother Hatem? Because the numbers tell us this. We have a narrative. We have a narrative. Now I want you to listen to some of these arguments because you're going to get hit with some of these. Get ready. Let's get this. Michael Smith, Grand Fork. Letter to the editor. I see Pete Buttigieg wants to appoint a commission to study our idea of paying black Americans reparations for slavery. He's not the only one. I told you, there's a couple of other ones out there, but listen. We don't need no commission. I'm just letting y'all know now. All of the research that needs to be done on slavery, on Jim Crow, on the school to prison pipeline, on the war against drugs, on stop and frisk. All of it is there. Don't need no commission. We need reparations. Period. And that's how I feel when I'm dealing with any politician. You saying anything else. Because first off, before we get in this conversation, what happens is they'll pepper up their corny policies with terms like reparations. And they'll use stats that can be directly put on black people. And they'll start off talking black. But by the end of the conversation, It will be people of color and even everyone. Now, when you are talking with somebody that is approaching you, starting off talking about you, but ending up talking about everybody, they do not want to deal with your shit directly. Please understand. All right, so, sorry. Here we go. I'd like to know, if my grandfather owned a shoe store in Philadelphia and he was murdered by the mafia in 1930 because he wouldn't pay protection money, does that mean that every Italian in the United States should be forced to pay reparations to me? Now, this is one of the arguments that they are going to hit you with. And let me give you your proper response. Sir or ma'am, that is straight fuckery. You can say this in your mind because you know you don't want, because at this point in time people want the discussion to go off the edge. But you got to be thinking, is this some fuckery or what? Now, first line of question. Was the mafia a government-sanctioned group? Were there laws on the books that allowed the mafia to operate in the way that they did? Now, if so, then your grandfather, well, you should be eligible for reparations. But if the government did not sanction what the mafia did, then how could all Italians be responsible? As a matter of fact, Italians as a group, right? Even in Italy, is the mafia sanctioned? Because if the mafia is sanctioned by the government of Italy, then by all means, my friend, you deserve your reparations from Italy. But I don't think the mafia is sanctioned over in Italy. I think it's a legal organization. It's been a legal organization for a long time. So your argument is comparing apples to oranges. Hell, apples to dragon fruit. Totally different. Right? I feel for your grandfather. That's America. Right? But at least your grandfather could open a shoe store in the 1930s. What was my people doing in the 1930s? Let's go back and let's look at it. Wasn't Jim Crow present? Was that not government sanctioned? Redlining? Was that not government sanctioned and encouraged? Right? It was only some certain type of jobs that I could get. And if I had a business in the 1930s that a white man just happened to want, they would find a way to do it. What was my ability as far as political activity in America in the 1930s? Was that government sanctioned? Was it okay by the government? Was it enforced by the government? Yes, it was. So your argument holds no water. No, all Italians shouldn't pay you. And then on top of that, America is not Italian. Even though this happened in America, and there are Italian Americans, your grandfather's oppression was not sanctioned by even a group of Italians that he might have been servicing. All right, stop. So no, they don't owe you. All right. And I remember hearing in school that it was very common for white immigrants in Pittsburgh in the 1800s to be killed on the job in steel mills. They would slip and fall into vats of molten steel. Who is going to pay reparations to their descendants? They was working a job, which means they were getting paid, which means that in most cases, even though it was a fucked up choice, they had choice. In the 1800s, what was my people doing in the 1800s? right? We were in government-sanctioned death camps forever. Not only was I not free, but even even my children belonged to an individual. I was looked at as the tool that your person in Pittsburgh was using to get and dip into the molten metal. Hell, I was the molten metal. I was just a tool. I was something used by industry, and it was sanctioned by the government. As a matter of fact, many of the rules that came for workers was provided to protect individuals like you just described. The government took action. It took them a while to get it, and then on top of that, they would not be able to get reparations from the government. They would have to get paid from the companies that owned the steel mills. So, brother, you might need to go find, what's that dude's name? At that time, he was running all the steel mills and stuff like that. Come on, man. These arguments, they haven't even put any thought into them. But yet, many of us will get quiet because this is the loudest motherfucker in the room. Right? You can try to start, but then when they start taking it a little bit higher, then you just start falling off, and you might need to leave because you're in the wrong company. I'm just telling you right now, family, because we have to start drawing a line. This is why, if you look on one of the hashtags I use, I'm using the term tribe up, because it's time for us to start separating ourselves from even those that may be directly related to us by blood. If they are talking foolishness and coonery and fuckery, we need to start, because that shit is contagious. It's like the coronavirus. That is our coronavirus. Ignorant motherfuckers saying ignorant shit like this. White or black. West Asian or of African descent. Or ADOS. It don't matter. This is contagious, it's dangerous, and it's stupid. And I think the reparations were already paid. 300,000 northern white men died in the Civil War so that slaves could be free. The reparations were paid in blood and not money. What happened after the Civil War? Please, educate. How many black people died in the Civil War? And it was not directly about slavery. It was about holding the Union together. Abe Lincoln said himself, if I could keep the Union together, I would keep slavery. If getting rid of slavery will enable me to keep the Union together, I'll do that. His primary goal, the Civil War, was not about slavery. The Civil War was about holding the Union together. We have to be honest with this. We got to be able to let people know it was not about slavery. Slavery was one of the linchpin things that they was arguing about. It was about holding the Union together. Well, if y'all don't agree with us, we're going to separate and we're going to do our own goddamn. Abe Lincoln was like, no the fuck you're not. Hold on, white man. Time out. Wait, hold on, let's talk. No. We separate. We taking our balls of cotton and we're going, oh, no the hell you're not. Right? We are a union. And you are part of this union, and you gonna be in this union regardless of how you feel. Now come back into the union right now before I start unleashing some ass whooping on you. Oh, y'all fighting back. Oh, okay. So now, all right, cool. We're going to unleash some of your tools. I ain't talking about hoes. I ain't talking about donkeys or cows. No. We're going to release one of your most important assets, and that's human beings. And we are going to free them in all of the states that sided against the Union. Now, family, let me ask you a question. If the Civil War was about slavery. Totally. Why wasn't a decree signed at the very beginning freeing all slaves? And if you look at the agreement that was signed, some states, especially the one, well, not even some, all the states decided with the union, guess what they got to keep? Talk to me. I know I ain't in this motherfucker. Am I by myself? Somebody talk to me. Help me. Right? Because these are the arguments that people gonna bring to you. And you got to be able to, one, listen to them, but you got to be able to be firm in what you know. You ain't got to convince that person, but family, I don't want nobody with no weak ass argument getting you off the boat and getting you to the point where you like, well, you got a point there. It was paid in blood. America did go to war over slavery. Was it really? Then why wasn't the Declaration signed by the United States of America freeing all of them at the beginning of the war? The only time that they freed them was when the North was getting their ass kicked. Robert E. Lee was giving them hell. And we need to do something. Oh, this motherfucker Robert E. Lee. And oh my God. What can we do? Free the niggas. What? I ain't think about that. That's brilliant. Family, we got to be honest about it. We got to really be able to get rid, like I said, being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. And we have to start getting people away from us that are living in a fucking illusion. Because then we get caught up in illusions and we can't move forward because we don't know where we are. When you don't know where you are, that's called being lost. You might as well be unconscious. You might as well be asleep because you're lost. Like I asked a group of young people, I said, if you are kidnapped and somebody keeps you blindfolded and keep you in a moving vehicle for 3 days, and then all of a sudden the van stops, they throw you out, you get yourself untied, what is the first thing you're going to try to find out? Well, I'm going to try to find out if I'm safe. Okay, cool. I can dig that. Cool. All right, so you know you're safe now. What's the next thing? I'm going to try to find a way to get in contact with somebody. That's brilliant. Okay, cool. Then what's the next thing? I'm going to try to find out where I am. If I don't know where I am, I can't tell people where to come to help me. Most of our people, they have figured out that they need to look around and make sure they're safe. They have figured out, right, that they need to find a way to communicate to get the help that they need. What they haven't figured out yet, or even hasn't even crossed their mind to find out where they are so they could get the help that they need, so they could get the help to them. We're walking around, many of us are walking around lost, and some of us is trying to drag motherfuckers that swear they know where they're going, but they're lost. Let them stay lost. Family, this is why one of the major concepts that we talk about and that we push on Gye-Nyame Journey is called the stubborn minority. The stubborn minority. The stubborn minority is who wins. America has never been changed by a large group of individuals who all came upon one page. It's always been about stubborn minorities. Look at your boy. Look at the great pumpkin in the White House right now. He don't have all the Republican Party. You can feel like that if you want. He has the power. He has a stubborn minority that is with him regardless. So the rest of the Republicans go along with him because all these people are with him. They are entrenched by his speeches. They love his brashness. All of them don't agree. Most of them is going along with the crowd. That's what's happening. He has linked into a stubborn minority and he has changed America. While we got dumbass Democrats trying to mobilize the center. The center has never changed shit. It's always the fringe. The American Revolution was not started by everybody. It was started by a committed, stubborn minority. And they was influential enough, and they caused enough hell and got shit popping off to where a lot of people who didn't even want to fight had to pick a side. That's what's going on with us. It's time for people to start picking a side. I hate to be the one to bring it to you, but we have to, as a people, start picking a side. This whole universal act that we've been into for the last 30, 40, 50 years is not working for us because we are not within the universal ideals. The universal ideals that are being structured by white supremacy. And guess who's not in it? You, because you are easily identifiable, so you make up a permanent underclass that they are able to stand upon. So you go around spouting these universal platitudes, not understanding that you are not included in them, even though you speak about them, even though you lift them up. Tribe up, that's right. It's real around here. So please understand, people gonna come at you with dumb arguments. And when they come at you with dumb arguments, you take a few minutes to try to educate. If they are able to listen, then educate them. If they are argumentative and disrespectful, get up and leave. Moving, if you at a family or a relative's event and you happen to get into this discussion and a motherfucker get ignorant, go drink with another group. And if that other group, get up and leave. Because family, I'm trying to tell you, they coming for you. They're going to use fear. They're going to use guilt. And they're going to use blame. Those are the chains. Those are the chains. Because you got a heart. So we got to get, he's damaging America. We have to get him out. I agree. Here's my terms on me helping you. Let's call negotiation, right? Everybody else is getting something. Here's my terms. Why are black people the only ones that have to sacrifice their personal needs for everybody else, but nobody else has to sacrifice? Everybody gets something. You don't find it strange that we basically are the people that represent Jesus to the world? Is that not problematic? Do you not know that Jesus needs to be crucified? We are the scapegoat for so they use guilt to keep us stuck. They use guilt to keep us frozen in its position. Because don't move now. I can't stand up on your back if you're moving. Come on now, it's not fair. I got where I am because it's fair. Everything's been working, and you are where you are, and I'm able to stand on you and all your relatives because my family worked harder than yours. See, family, do you not understand that in order for you to be here for as many generations as you have been here and not have accumulated generational wealth, I'm not talking about you and your good job right now, and not to have accumulated generational wealth means one of two things. Either we come from a group of idiots, of people who can't get shit right, can't do nothing right, or there has been a systematic process to keep you in a position that you're in. One or two choices. So when you're talking to some people and they want to bring up some of this stuff to you, you have to throw those choices out. So either you saying, because listen, we in the same family. We in the same boat. Your family has been here 6 generations, at least, that we could count. How is it that your family don't have well, we done gave it. So you saying that we was stupid. We truly are lazy. And you actually just going along to get along because you believe that you're working for people that's smarter than you and that people that can really have your interest in mind because your group is not able to do it. Or you have to look and see if there's a systematic process that has been designed to keep you where you are. Two choices. So what are you saying? Because if you are saying that our ancestors are stupid, I need to remove myself from you. If you're going to tell me that my ancestors were lazy, I have to remove myself from you because there's evidence to the contrary. We made everybody else rich here. We invented half the shit that people are using. The music that people dance to that changes the world is created by us. We excel at everything we do. So you are living in an illusion, and I must remove myself from you before I punch you in the mouth. Brother Kwame said, use the rhetoric ethic has helped them to keep us paralyzed, and we bought into a hook, line, and sinker. Come on, family. I want y'all to understand, family. I could count my family back 6 generations. And there's no way. See, do you know how long? Do you know that this president has only been here for 3 generations? And in 2 generations, his family was supposedly able to accumulate to where him and his children are able to walk around this world as if they're billionaires. And he was able to move from basically the poverty that you'll hear in his grandfather's story that was over here to where he is today in 3 generations. But yet your family has been here 6 generations and you have not been able to build shit. And if you have built shit, it really is not. And I'm not just talking about, see, because a lot of us, we get into this rugged individual. You think that when I'm talking about you, I'm just talking about you. But I'm not just talking about you. You are the result of a generation. You come from a generational people, a generational culture. So either what you come from is truly inept, or there has been something designed to keep you down. There's no other choice. Because I hear some of y'all stories. Well, my grandfather had this and my great-grandfather had that. And, we just foolishly gave it away. Why? Were they able to get loans from the bank to make improvements? Who were their neighbors? Who else wanted that property? What went on that finally made your family decide? Matter of fact, what made the children in your family of these individuals that had all this land down south and shit, what made them want to come north? Why would you leave wealth? Why would you leave land? What was going on that generations of our people fled and say it with me, fled the south? Huh? You do know that, right? We call it the Great Migration. We was actually running. I'm sorry. I get hyped up. Because when I have to talk and I have to think and I have to listen to some of these peoples and some of their arguments, when they're basically saying your people are lazy, your people are shiftless, y'all worthless, and you got out of life what you deserved, rather than I got out of life what was designed and socially engineered for my group. And I'd be damned if I sit here and allow this same bullshit to be spread to my kids. And that's the way all of y'all should be. Because a lot of y'all listen to me, we got grandkids, we got nieces and nephews that's coming up through this shit. And you are not going to be able with a straight face to look at them and see them in failure and honestly be able to say, you brought this on yourself. I can't say that. When I'm sitting up here and I'm facing these kids and I'm forced to have to expel them or I'm forced to suspend them, you know what I'm saying? I can't look at them and be like they brought it on themselves, because they are part of the issue we are dealing with is a lot larger than my kids, and they're just acting out the trauma that they are experiencing in a world that has been designed to get them to do the shit that they doing. And an education system that's designed to pick them off, teach them rugged individualism, and pick off the best. Oh, this one can learn quick. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's do. They social engineer you out. I was there. I was one of them. I'm sorry. I just get hyped up, family. So I got to sit up here and I got to chastise my son for not being involved with school in the way that he's supposed to be involved with school, and I'm supposed to make him feel bad about that. When he been sitting around listening to my conversations and people we bring in from other places conversations, and he knows intrinsically as well as from the information that he's been getting from us, this shit is not right. How do I discipline him? Should I discipline him? This is part of my struggle. Because I understand. He couldn't be around for at least the last 10 years of his life and listen to this shit and not be affected. I've been doing this show for at least the last 4 years, and I've been doing radio podcasts and all that, talking about the issues that's been facing our people, as well as participating in events, bringing people here, and he done heard this shit over and over again. And I'm supposed to discipline him because he's not disrupting class. You know, my wife get mad as hell. He's not interrupting class. I could talk to him about, applying and getting this information, but I really can't be mad at him. I would be a fucking hypocrite if I was. And I try to be as unhypocritical as I possibly can. But this is the struggle that many of us have that are in the know. We got kids that we turn over to others every day. And we know they're not being educated for our best interests. Maybe we don't. We still got people talking about education is the key. Now everybody a motivational speaker. Education is the key. How many of us got friends who got education and don't got no goddamn job? Can't find no goddamn job. Can't keep a motherfucking job. But is educated like a motherfucker. No, we don't have microscopes at the school. That's something we could work on. So yesterday, and I'm gonna get off of here because I know y'all like, this nigga yelled too much. I don't want to be dealing with this shit. He angry. I'm not really angry, just frustrated. I was listening to a video yesterday about stoicism. Because it's been a topic that's been popping up in some of the podcasts and some of the other stuff that I've been reading. I bought a couple of ebooks on it, and it finally hit me. Everything that they talk about in the Stoic philosophy, black folks have mastered. we Stoics. We born into Stoicism. So these motherfuckers are selling books about your lifestyle. Tim Ferriss got whole workshops on Stoicism. And some of us pay to go see it, and then you got to sit back and be like, damn, the Stoicism sound like I'm living my life right now. Right? Go and check it out. You got people that's just been studying y'all, in a sense, selling you your culture, selling you what you've been going through for the last 400 years. You want a lesson in resilience and hanging in there and never quitting? What better group of people to look at than us? We got some of the best inspirational stories that you could ever want to unleash, but none of us are really digging into the trove of the wisdom of our ancestors so that we could really have the discussions. Stoicism is the imperturbability of the diplomat. So no one knows what she is thinking or feeling. Isn't that called wearing a mask? Isn't that what isn't that the mask that W.E.B. Du Bois was talking about? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that the mask? Was it W.E.B. Du Bois? Or was it Franz Fanon? I don't know. But anyway, Stoicism. And it's deeper than just the diplomat. Stoicism was and I know you know this, was a Greek philosophy. It was a school in Greece, and it spread to Rome, where these motherfuckers would steal all this shit from all these people, and then all of a sudden want to live life like us. Son, if it go good, it go good. If it don't go good, it's okay. Right? But anyway. Alright. I got a video on there about a group of white supremacists that overthrew a government. Let's see. Got a picture of a handsome young man on here. I don't know what it is for, so I'm going to push it and see. Rising Stars, Sunny 95. This is a young man in Columbus, but I don't see a name with the post. Could somebody post up who this young man is? Rising Star in Columbus, Ohio here. All right, so I made it all the way back. Oh, we ain't go through the black census, so maybe I'll pull that up and we could talk about that a little bit tomorrow. It's a group. They put together a black census in a sense and put together this black agenda, they call it, right? They use terms like everybody. How can it be a black agenda when you use terms like everybody? And POC. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, family. Y'all, we being pimped. People taking advantage of your kind heart. You need to direct that kind heart and that forgiveness. We need to direct that towards our group. Right? We need to have those feelings that we got for the world, for our group. We need to start tribing up. Stop playing. Y'all playing. They out here playing, Sister Cynthia. Y'all playing. Everybody else is serious as a motherfucker, boy. They coming to get what you got. Always remember that. They coming to get what you got. Because you don't got no borders. Talk about that all the time. We ain't got no borders. Anybody can come into our community and do whatever the fuck they want to do. We ain't got no borders. We ain't got no border police. We ain't got no secret military to defend our area, our areas. Right? But this coming. It's coming. Because we have to tribe up because it's tribes that run America. Rockefeller was a tribe. Carnegie was a tribe. Tribes run the world. I ain't know that though, right? I'm just saying it's time for us to step up to where we need to be. As uncomfortable as that shit is. Because freedom is hard to keep. Freedom is hard to get. And freedom is hard to keep. Because you always got people trying to march up to your doors and take what you got. You have to be able to make a few examples. And after those few examples, people will know for a fact, bro, you might not want to go mess with them. You understand? All right. So, family, this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank you for joining us in the Congregation of Almighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is and has been Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This has been the Toast&Talk Kuumba. And it's Heart of a Symbol production. Shouts out to all the symbols that's meeting right now. I think in Chicago. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'll see y'all tomorrow.